right, we'll go ahead and start. There we go. All right. Hello, everyone. Howdy do. How's everyone doing today? I just rolled out of bed and had to rush to get the stream started. So I have my coffee and I'm ready to go. Had a late night last night, doing a couple of things. I was doing some favors that I didn't really think I would be doing, so I've been busy lately, guys. I thought I would change the days and things would get easier, and they haven't. So, I guess this week's schedule is going to be, weird. I don't know if I'm going to be streaming tomorrow or if I'm going to hold off, to do Thursday this week and then, next week, I start trying to do the regular schedule. And you not getting up 30 minutes before stream for my amusement. How could you? I'm sorry. Well, I'm trying my best, guys. I am. But yeah, I gotta think about how we're gonna do this week. I may still try to stream for tomorrow, or I might go for Thursday and just do an early day Thursday. And then start switching to Monday, Wednesdays. So I didn't prepare anything beforehand like I usually do. I usually have notes of things to talk about before the stream starts, but got up too late for that, so that's not gonna happen. So I guess we're just going to start the game and see where it goes from there. So let's continue. All right, we're on road trip now, which this one's going to have a pretty interesting decision for us. Well, you guys will see. It's been a little bit since I played this, but I do remember that. All right. Even though you were awake, the sun had barely peeked its head from above the horizon, and the sky above was still dark, though lightening by the minute. Oh gosh, reading this is gonna be fun. Can we crash the car? That would be fascinating, wouldn't it? I don't think they're gonna let the 13-year-old drive, though. Usually, you wouldn't be up so early, especially during summer vacation, but today was different. Oh, crap. I should stop using my tablet pen to do the visual novels. It really just doesn't have the right control. If we do, we can see Cove's bones are finally stronger. Oh, poor Cove. Everyone just bullies him in chat for breaking his bones. It's like that one subreddit that, like, the No Broken Bones subreddit or whatever. I don't know what it's called. Let's see. Today, instead of the lazy days you were used to, everything around you was a flurry of activity as both your family and Coves prepared for what lay ahead. Joint family vacation. Right, because parked in the street just outside of your house was a massive RV camper, so big you couldn't even see Cove's house behind it. Oh man, crash the camper. Never broke a bone, would rightfully despise Cove. Oh no. Yeah, they would. I've seen how they go. His parents had rented the RV for a few days to take him on a short road trip to see the Redwood National Park. Oh, I've been there. You glanced at Cove, who was standing nearby, taking in the scene in front of him. The prospect of the trip had to be a mixed bag for him, but it was only 3 days, so it seemed he was dealing with it the best that he could. Cove really doesn't do good with any type of planning difference than his schedule. I kind of relate. I'm bad when things are on schedule, but like, man, Cove does like really bad with it. Anything goes that's like not as planned, and he is just not dealing with it. Especially now that you and your family were joining them. You weren't sure how exactly it happened. You knew your parents and Cove spoke to each other often, and somewhere along the way, plans were made after Cliff offered to share the space. The parents all thought it was a fantastic idea. You had already gotten a good look inside while helping to load everything in, and you had to admit that while it was a really big car, fitting that many people inside was going to be snug. We can exploit that somehow. Move it or lose it, kiddo. Mom bustled past with a cooler in one hand and a large bottle of water under the other. She was upbeat for this early in the morning. Hey, Cove, how do you feel about a surprise birthday party a week earlier? Oh, man. I probably would not do well if past records indicate. Voice acting is going to be interesting today, by the way, because, not that it's already, like, fantastic or anything, but it's going to be interesting because I have, kind of a cold this morning. I'm just, like, noticing it, like, all stuffy-nosed and everything. That'll probably go away, just morning, some morning stuff. Ma, however, seemed to be on the other side of the wavelength. Oh man, I relate to Ma so much. She followed behind her wife, dragging her feet on every step. Yeah, this is me. This is me 100%. Don't wake me up. Never wake me up. Let me sleep forever. I'm gonna need a whole jug of coffee once we hit the road. Most relatable statements. I'm drinking my jug of coffee right now. Oh, yes, definitely relates. You yawned and rubbed at your eyes, still sleepy from the early morning wake-up call. The air outside was still damp from dew, and that helped make you a bit more alert. See, she can't drive, let us drive. It's probably Cove's dad that's driving. I imagine. I don't really know, but that sounds right. And then, at the end of the chain, came your sister. She had a bone to pick before the trip officially started. Her rattling off critiques added some level of normalcy to everything new going on. I don't get why I can't sleep in the bed tonight. Rain is the youngest, and I'll never fall asleep in that loft. We're trying to make things fair on everyone. If you want to play the older card, you should be offering to take the loft both nights. It's important for both siblings to make sacrifices for their younger ones. For big siblings. Elizabeth huffed, not happy with that answer in the slightest, and folded her arms, leaning back against the side of the RV. The trip plans had been nailed down prior, the sleeping arrangements included. Elizabeth still held on to her objections with them. There was a main area of the RV with a couch, loft, and some floor space. At the end of the car was a room with a large bed. Your moms were sharing the bed, Kyra was on the couch, and father and son intended to sleep on the floor. The adults determined you and Elizabeth would switch between the small loft above the driver's seat and sharing the bed with moms. Let's see, what's the moody answer we can give? We are teenagers too. I love how we can just stick up for Cove. Like, it's unfair that he gets the floor. He should sleep, with me. I mean, he already has, hasn't he? Let's see. Definitely not looking forward to the sleepover. We're moody teenagers. Okay. So I guess we're just not happy because we're just never happy. We're teenagers. You knew that you'd have to deal with the arrangements, just like everyone else did. All right, you lot. Does everyone have everything they need? We're heading out in 5 minutes. Now's the time to double check. You don't want to forget something important. At the word, Elizabeth yelped and dashed back into the house, her bedhead hair bouncing behind her as she went. That's relatable too. I feel like I'm forgetting everything if we go on a trip at all. Ma came over and gave you a smile, setting her hands on her hips. How about you, Rain? Do you have all your clothes packed? Toiletries, deodorant, floss, anything else you can think of? Okay, well the answer is no, we're not confident, but the teenage response is we gave her a flat look. You weren't 8 years old anymore. You were 13 and more than capable of remembering what to bring on a trip. Yeah, that's the teenage response. I know everything, Mom. All right. I like to fuss. Ma laughed softly and ruffled your hair before she walked off. With a few minutes left to spare before leaving, you mentally went over what you had packed for the trip. Clothes, a pillow and blanket, usual day-to-day gear for most people. You also had more personal things, such as, everything. Everything, literally everything. Okay, definitely a portable gaming console. The drive to the Redwood National Forest would take an entire day one way. So you wanted to make sure you had a way to entertain yourself while traveling there and back. Pencils and papers. I did love to draw. Oh no, we forgot our shoes. I would though. I would just walk out in like my slippers. Forget any type of shoes for like hiking or anything in a forest. You had to be prepared in case you saw something to sketch at the park, or if you had to write anything down if you needed to pass time just doodling. Okay, favorite stuffed animal is a must, always. Without fail, it always made you feel more comfortable whenever you went somewhere new. It was like taking a little piece of home away with you. Yeah, fun fact, I have an entire collection of stuffed animals, plushies, all that. I just loved stuffed animals and plushies. I think they're really cute. So every time I go to a convention or a store that has them, I will buy one. I love them. Let's see, a couple of things to read, obviously. I always take like 3 books with me and like break my back when I'm going through anywhere on a trip. My backpack gets so heavy with things. You had packed one of your old favorites and a new one you'd never tried before. You knew you'd have plenty of time for them, both on such a long drive. Are the plushies emergency food? I suppose they could be, like Paimon. Revealing myself as a Genshin fan? Well, used to be. I haven't played Genshin in a long time now, but you never know. All the cotton and everything. Good fiber. Nope, already read that. I never brought makeup with me. Weak, weeb, both are true. Let's see. A ball? MP3 player, yeah. I guess camera. Yeah, I think camera too. I'm trying to remember what I bring back then, and like, yeah. I would bring a camera. To shut out the parents, yeah. Definitely. And Cove, I guess, too. I would bring it, when I got an MP3 player, I would bring it everywhere. With so much time going to be spent driving in a car, you wanted to make sure you were able to have some music to put on. And camera. It was just a little pocket camera that you had gotten from your mom's, but you couldn't miss the opportunity to take some new snaps. Take some snaps. But why can't we have a Walkman instead, right? It would look so cool. And that was everything. I kind of feel like later on when we're finally done with this game to like draw our character in the 3 steps of what they would look like. Though I'm a little nervous about how that would come out. We did an interesting design for Rain Sky here. We can share headphones with Cove and listen to music together. Yeah! I'm not sure if Cove would like my music choices. Between the heavy metal and anime music and whatever I just decided was cool at the moment. Beehive Fighter Extraordinaire. Yeah! Hey, let me take care of that for you, Rain. I'll stow it in the RV. There's a few spots left it'll fit. I forgot my voice for Kyra. I forgot what I chose. I completely forgot. I just switched to my normal mom voice. You let Kyra take your bag and gave her a grateful smile. With nothing left to do, you watched the others getting ready for the trip. Yes, do all the work for me. Kyra and Cliff seemed to have the most energy of anyone. They were finishing packing the suitcases away while your moms had gone to lock up the house. They high-fived whenever... I can't speak. Wow, this is going great for me today, being sleep deprived. They high-fived whenever another one got crammed into the storage compartments of the vehicle. Get through the line, Angie, get through the line. Even though your parents were more low-key than Coves, you could tell they were both excited for the trip. It had been a while since your family had been away anywhere together. Elizabeth skipped towards the RV, a bag slung over her shoulder, and you were surprised to see she seemed more optimistic about the whole ordeal now. Usually she wasn't one to exit the confines of her room unless it was for TV or food, or to leave her family behind to be with her friends. You would have thought 3 whole days packed in an RV with 6 others would be too much for her, but it was a nice surprise. You supposed any vacation was better than no vacation in her mind. Careful before they shove you into luggage too. Oh no! Oh no, don't do that! Why won't my thing ever change when I need it to? There we go. Now I'm sad. I pressed the hotkey button and then it doesn't work. Elizabeth has a boy toy where you're going. I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, now it's working. Man, whenever I try to do my hotkeys, it just doesn't work. Autocorrect turned boy toy into bottom. Oh no! Oh, that's quite the mistake. Cove had been pretty quiet so far, and more than anything, seemed to be overwhelmed by the situation. And the most unsurprising thing goes to... Cove is uncomfortable with something new? Go figure. I'm just so shocked by this. Okay, as a moody teen, how did I feel about going on road trips? I freaking love them. I love road trips. I love driving halfway across wherever I am, across the country, for hours and hours on end. Back then I loved it, and I still love it now. So, yeah, I would have been very excited for this trip. It was great to get away and explore new places. Soon, the miscellaneous remaining task had been wrapped up. Everyone piled into the RV. It was officially time for the trip to start. And it did! Cliff took the first shift driving. He cautiously navigated the massive car out of the narrow neighborhood streets. I hated being in the car. Yeah, most of my friends do. My dad trained me on road trips. Every year, he would just be like, yeah, we're going somewhere. I don't know where, but we're going. And so, we lived in the car sometimes going on road trips. And so, I don't know, just from, an early age, I loved them. So now I want to do road trips all the time. And none of my friends like them. I'm alone in it. It was touch and go for the first part of the journey. Your moms and Kyra were all huddled into the front, trying to get a view of how much space they had on each side. There was a sense of relief when the first long leg of the trip was hit, and the RV would only need to go down one stretch of highway for miles. Oh! Hi, Oliver! Everyone say hi to my cat! He decided to join at me, I guess. As long as he's not knocking over anything, he's fine. I only kick him out when he starts knocking over stuff. The mom group cleared out the driver's area, leaving Cove's dad to it, taking more comfortable seats around the main cabin. Hi, Oliver, go for the eyes. Don't go for the eyes. Oliver, don't. Aww. It's rubbing up against me. So sweet. He hears his name and he immediately starts coming in. You felt like you could finally relax now, too. Time slipped by as morning faded away. Before you realized it, the engine of the RV came to a stop, but only halted for a few moments as Cliff climbed out from the driver's seat and Mom took over. Ma was sitting shotgun, giving Mom a quick tutorial on the controls, as if it was her first time driving anything this large. Cliff groaned as he headed towards the rest of you, stretching his arms above his head and loosening up his muscles. "We're making good progress." "Yeah, maybe we should take a nap on the back for a while. That was a long haul you just did, and I know you're on less sleep than usual." Cliff waved a hand, that trademark grin of his slipping into place. "I don't need sleep. I've got a few miles in the old tank." He flexed an arm, showing off his muscles to drive the point about how resilient he was home. And Kyra rolled her eyes in amusement. "Dad, everybody has to sleep." "You know, with your broken marriage and failing relationship with your son. Oh no! Oh God." Just remind them of the family troubles. I think they've worked through a couple of things. I think the relationship is doing better. With Cove, I mean, not Kyra. Cove shook his head at the tough guy act, though Cliff simply chuckled and ruffled his son's hair. "So, are we going to be driving again anytime soon, Mr. Holden? I want to know so I can prepare." "Did anyone pack some rope? I might need it. There's no seatbelts up here." "Oh no." Elizabeth called down from where she was lounging at the loft above the driver compartment. She was laying on her back, her hair falling over the side and swinging around as the RV started up again and took off down the road. A bag of potato chips was bounced on Elizabeth's stomach, and she tossed a couple in her mouth right as Cliff held a hand to his chest, pretending to be offended by the remark. Kyra laughed lightheartedly. "Luckily for all of us, we have enough adults to cover the shifts today. He won't be driving again until tomorrow." I'm not enjoying my line delivery today. Hold on, I'm gonna drink another thing of coffee here. Maybe that'll get me better. Alright, let's insult his ego. Let's see. Just enough to write my last will and testament. Perfect! Not you too. The rest of the group laughed while Cliff pouted, and you gave him an apologetic shrug. Mom then shouted back in her seat to join the conversation. A playful smile tilted her lips. "What I'm more worried about is this old monster getting us there and back again before falling apart. It looks as though it was built in the early 90s. It must be older than some of the occupants." "That's just the aesthetic of the decor. It's not that old." Kyra's me right now. It's not that old. The 90s aren't that long ago. "Did you ask what year the model was before you rented it?" Kyra wrinkled her nose in thought. "Yes, I did. I just can't remember what the answer was." "Volunteer to drive so you can make the RV do so many cool flips. It's ancient. I can hear your bones cracking now." No! No, it's not. The 90s weren't that long ago. It's not long ago. I'm not old. It's not ancient. All of you are wrong, not me. Okay, we're just gonna get back to this now, before I reveal too much about my age. Cliff chuckled at her while the rest of you let out a collective sigh. The RV lurched a little as it picked up speed, and you held onto the ladder to the loft to keep your balance. You felt something graze the top of your head before a weight settled on your yellow hair. When you tilted your chin up carefully to look, you heard the rustling of the bag of chips and realized Elizabeth had rested the end of it on your head. This is war. I'm talking to chat right now. This is war. You're old, groaning like a geezer. How dare you? How dare you? Come into my chat and insult me like this? I'm not old! She gestured to the opening, silently offering to share her snack. Yes, we take a handful. It's chips. Of course we do. Reaching up, you scooped up some chips. After that, the weight of the packet left your scalp. You happily munched away as the conversation continued on, and you got closer and closer to your destination. Feel yourself a-cracking like an old has-been. Look at yourself, old woman. You've got multiple chins because you're old. How dare you? I can't believe you're doing this to me right now. Ugh. That hurts. That hurts, man. That hurts so bad. Try not to break your bones trying to fight that war. Those get more fragile as you age. Shut up! Oh, I don't have a good comeback right now. I'm too tired. But shut up! Oh, man, it's a good thing that Bear isn't here right now. It'd get even worse. What do you want, Oliver? What are you crying for? I can't hear him now. I guess he went away. The day flew by, with the group of you chatting, playing games and passing the time together before finally arriving at the park and setting up for the night. Ma was closing the windows while everyone got ready for bed, saying goodnight to the others as she made her way to the back room. She's old too. That's right. She's one to talk. Oh. You had all had dinner together while still driving, and some hours after had arrived at your destination and found a spot to park in for the rest of your stay. Giving a look across the front of the RV, you noticed almost everyone there was already dozing off where they were, when Cove having completely fallen asleep curled up in the passenger seat. He must have done so while Kyra was driving the last leg, and they had decided not to disturb him. Kyra herself was the only one up there who was still awake, flipping through a magazine next to a portable light. From her spot on the couch, it seemed Mr. Holden needed to sleep despite his claims. You followed your moms into the back room and closed the door behind you before crawling onto the bed between them. Aww. It was a queen-size bed, so there was enough space for the three of you together without too much squishing.
Good night.
Get a good rest, Rain. We've got a big day ahead of us tomorrow.
That's fantastic.
I'm looking forward to bushwalk in the morning. It's been a long time since I was out in nature like this. There will be plenty for us to see. You stayed awake for a little while longer while your moms whispered about the park and forest in general. She's not doing enough cool flips to keep you all entertained. Shame on her. I mean, that depends who you're talking about, though. I guess. With the sound of their voices in the background, eventually you nodded off to sleep. The next morning, you were up bright and early, preparing for the day ahead. Early? Really? Like, did it have to be? I hate morning. I don't hate morning, but like, I hate waking up early. Earlier than I'm supposed to. Am I just like really nasally today? It sounds nasally on my end. I'm just downing coffee now. You better beat the sun to the park or the trip's canceled. No! Ugh. Nah, you sound the same as ever. Sorry about that. Do I naturally sound nasally? Oh no. Well, it's hard to tell. I just feel a little off today, but I guess that's just because I woke up super early. I slept terribly. Let me go back to sleep. There hadn't been enough room for you to spread out or readjust your position. The mattress was uncomfortable and it became hot with 2 other people next to you. Exactly. Give me the bed to myself. Now, on that note, it'd probably be fine. Sleep on the floor then. Ma whined a bit about the firmness of the mattress, but Mom had only encouraged her to enjoy the trip while she could. Oh, hey, Oliver, you came back to me. Don't jump up here. I'm gonna have to kick you out if you do. I see you eyeing it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I wish I could, like, just sleep on top of the RV. Yes, under the stars. That's going to be comfortable. The stars will be cool, but everything else is gonna suck. Oh. Okay, cool. He's just jumping on his cat bed. Alright, where am I? What was I doing? I was gonna say something and then I completely lost track of it. Alright, we're just gonna move on. Cove was perched on the top of the counter, brushing his hair and tucking up his legs every time someone wanted to move past. The parents were checking, double checking, and triple checking that you had everything, to the point where you had stopped listening to them altogether. You know, my family's rented an RV a couple of times. Not like my parents, but like my grandparents and then my cousins and stuff. And so I've been inside of RVs, but I've never actually been on a trip in an RV. I've just been inside of it, but I've never stayed in one. Or like gone anywhere in one. With all the road trips I've done. It's always just been car camping. You knew you wouldn't be returning to the RV at all that day, but by the look of the backpacks that were packed up and ready to go, you doubted anything was missing from them. Ah, I want to go here. I automatically want to go here. Are they? My grandparents used to own an RV that was always parked in their driveway. I thought it was so cool. I wanted to stay in one. I was like 6, mind you, but I thought it was like the coolest thing ever. And then they got rid of it. I don't think they liked it that much. Well, they liked going on trips in it, but I don't think they liked how much space it took up and stuff. Anyways, it didn't take much longer until you all exited the RV in a bustle and headed into the Redwood National Parks. Punch the trees, prepare for the Minecraft Beehive boxing crossover tourney in a month! Yes! First, I have to play Minecraft. Oh man. But no, like, serious talk, I love hiking. It's one of my favorite things to, like, go out and do. There's a national park that's about, like, a few hours from me, and so every now and then I will head over there in the morning and go hiking and then head back. Especially during the fall. I love seeing all the leaves change colors. Looks like Cove likes it too. Cove had his head tilted up towards the canopy of trees, his eyes wide as he took in the massive trunks on either side of you. You knew that the redwood trees here were considered the tallest trees on Earth, but you weren't prepared for exactly how huge they would be in person. Come on. Smile, you two! You spun just in time for Kyra to snap a picture of you and Cove together before she pointed her camera at Cliff, trying to get a shot despite his weak protest that she should just enjoy the moments. Your parents were walking behind the group a little, with Mom telling Ma some information she had read about the park in a brochure. Ma listened happily while looking around, and taking in the sights every now and then, asking a question or making a joke about something Mom had said. Oh, crap, did I skip something? Yeah. You smiled at them, thinking your mom must have read a lot of pamphlets to know so much about the park. That's what I do. I grab like a bunch of pamphlets at rest stop stations, and I'll just read like a whole bunch about the places we're going. I used to do that so much. Hey Cove, you enjoy being here after finding out we were only friends with you for $20? He got over that. He got over it. Nerds. Yep. Maybe you should just come and work here as a tour guide if you know so much about the place. Fun fact, I would do that. Not work as a tour guide, but I would just start like guiding random people as if I was the tour guide. This was back when I was like 8. I would just be like, I know so much about this place, let me show you. And the actual tour guides of the place would think it was so funny. Elizabeth teased, earning a squeeze on the nose from your mom. She seemed to be enjoying herself, but you thought that might just be because she was amused by everyone else's reactions. Oh man, I would be so in awe at this place. Both of the top two are true. Okay, let's pick this one because it sounds the most amazed. I love stuff like this. Make those tour guides exploited you for free labor. They did. They did, in fact. But as an 8-year-old, I loved it. Surrounding you on either side, the enormous trees shot up into the sky, the sunlight peeking through the canopy and speckling the path in front of you. The sheer size of the redwoods made you feel like a tiny ant bustling along through the forest. The adults had decided on some casual nature walks, rather than any serious hiking, and you strolled along at your own pace, taking in the scenery. Elizabeth sped a little, smirking at Cove as she fell into place between the two of you, and immediately you could tell by her expression that she was going to say something taunting. Careful, Elizabeth. I'm pretty sure the wood of these trees is only good for toothpicks, so cut down a few trees to make some toothpicks. Take some toothpicks off. No! I can't believe our families are actually going on vacation together. She threw her arms out, speaking with a genuine sense of bewilderment. I would have joked about something like this happening, but now I'm not sure I want to give them any more ideas. Cove smiled at her, even if it was a little awkward, and continued walking along. And just watch, next year they'll be talking about about their next new amazing idea. She put on a fake voice, deepening her own. We should just sell both our houses and move in together. Think of how much we'd save on mortgage. It was clear that Elizabeth was being sarcastic. Cove simply shook his head, not really bothered by her. You supposed he was used to it by this point. Man, I'm stumbling all over the place. I mean, what's new, right? But it's more noticeable for me today. My throat is really dry, so I keep having to pause to drink. But seriously, they really do act like we're a single family, just because we live across the street from each other. Elizabeth gave you and Cove a look, her eyes glinting with mischief as she leered at you. Yeah. Maybe one day we will be related, legally anyway. Okay, Elizabeth. Hey Cove, why did your heart speed up at 20 BPM? Right? Elizabeth is not having this childhood friend family sharing nonsense. Right? Elizabeth saw right through this dating sim. She was like, oh fuck, I see what's happening. She said it as though she was a gossipy old lady. Careful, Elizabeth, you're gonna get wrinkles early. But she almost immediately dropped the tone and nonchalantly said her real thoughts. At least that's what Ma thinks. Okay. Are you guys gossiping about this behind my back? Hey! Cove still blushed, which made Elizabeth smile triumphantly, as though she was her whole... Okay, wow. As if this was... Okay. Cove still blushed, which made Elizabeth smile triumphantly, as though that was her whole purpose for teasing him. Why do you even need to ask, Angie? You know they are. That's true. They're all talking behind my back. Then he mumbled quietly, refusing to make eye contact with either of you. I don't know why you think you're so funny when no one else does. Shots fired, Cove. Everyone makes fun of you. I don't know if you really want to, like, jump in on this. I'll marry you, Cove! Just outright, just like, yeah, sure, I'd marry you. Elizabeth got in her mocking him for a crush. Her work on vacation is done. I'll marry you, Cove. It's such a funny response. Just like take the teasing, Cove being like, yeah, that's not funny, and just come in with that, I'll marry you. Here, let's do it. He looked at you in disbelief. He genuinely could not believe this is where the conversation had gone. Perfect parry, Elizabeth, and deal damage to Cove at the same time. It's the perfect comeback. Sorry. No, don't back out, Rain. Stick to it. Stare him dead in the eyes while you're saying it. Cove frowned and reddened harder, but pretended to ignore what you were saying. Your sister noticed what was happening. Oh, he isn't going to engage with this topic? And now all of the damage has been done to Cove. Elizabeth took none of it. He groaned at the continued teasing and increased the speed of his walk. The day continued on with plenty to see and experience. You passed a few different activities that you would have liked to try out if you had the time, such as kayaking and rock climbing. But Ma said that would have to wait for another trip. I love rock climbing. I would have done that. There was a little stream during the walk that you sat beside and set out a picnic for lunch, nibbling on a selection of fruit sandwiches and chips. Various birds flew by overhead, and you made a game out of guessing the species that were hanging out in the trees nearby. You even managed to get a couple of them right, including the kingfisher that grabbed half of Cliff's sandwich. You gotta watch your food whenever you're out in nature, bud. If you've ever been to the beach, the seagulls are relentless. And they live on the beach, so they should know that. Okay, but where's our T-bone sandwich? They haven't let us make it yet. Okay. Well, obviously we liked this. I like this anyway. This is like a dream vacation for me. It was definitely a special experience, and one you'd remember for a long time to come. You smiled to yourself, committing the sights and sounds to memory. Your group made it back to camp just as the sun was setting in the sky, and the stars were appearing one by one. Everyone had enjoyed different parts of it most. You traded stories of what you thought while you were eating dinner, then afterwards you pitched in to help clean up. You, along with Elizabeth and Cove, got to head back to the RV early and spend some time together, while the parents stayed outside longer. That's not a very moody teenager take. Listen, the moody teenager thing drops once vacation hits. That was always true. They don't have seagulls on their beach, not since the war. Oh no, they wiped out the seagulls? Or did they wage war on the seagulls? Either way, it does raise some questions. But yeah, my moody teenagerness always stopped when we were on vacation. I loved vacations. Get to go out of town, do some hiking. Loved it. It was nice to have the space to yourself after the cramped journey there, and while Elizabeth had locked herself in the back room with her headphones, you and Cove were left in the main lounge area. I guess we'll hang out with Cove or whatever. He's our crush, though. Both. What a war. I guess we should figure out something to do. You took a seat on the sofa while Cove sat down on the other end, tapping his fingers against his knees. Your cheeks warmed a little at that, and the butterflies in your stomach were out in full force tonight. You'd seen Cove nearly every day for the past 5 years, but seeing him in a jacket was still somewhat unusual in Southern California. In Southern California, he could get away with that. It was true. You can get away with that in California. He's getting ready to get down on one knee. He's 13! It was a simple difference from his normal style, yet you couldn't help notice the way he looked. It made you feel incredibly awkward to be thinking such things. Why did you have to be like this? Why am I like this? A question I asked all the time as a teenager. When Cove cleared his throat, your eyes snapped to his. He had an eyebrow raised and had clearly caught you staring at him. Oh no, he saw us staring? That's awkward. But like then again, I feel like you've caught him staring a number of times, haven't we?
What?
Is everything okay? Okay, we have to be like slightly moody and evasive. That was what we agreed on. You averted your gaze entirely. Along with that, you mumbled that everything was just fine. It wasn't the best save. You decided to explain part of it. They need their eyes checked is the problem. That's it.
You know, I hardly ever see you wearing a jacket, especially in the summer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like wearing as few layers as possible. It's easier that way. I'd rather be cold than extra hot, and it's kind of a pain to carry extra clothes around. My parents made me bring this jacket. Yeah, I'm the same way.
They're bulky and heavy, and they usually make me feel too warm.
Cove smiled lightly at you and nodded. I've noticed. You perked up hearing that. He noticed you too? Obviously we ask him.
So, what type of stuff do you think looks good on somebody else? Not for yourself.
What are you into, Cove? Tell me everything so I can dress exactly that way. Cove's eyes widened at the question, and his defensive reply seemed to slip out before he'd had the chance to have a proper think about it. Nothing! Uh-huh. Yeah, real convincing. Hey, Cove, what makes those hormones of yours make you uncomfortable? Yeah, he's real smooth with that whole thing, you know? That's funny. I straight up laugh. A short laugh escaped you, and you stopped yourself quickly with a hand pressed against your mouth. Come on, that's not what I meant. You composed yourself and sat up straighter, all traces of laughter disappearing from your face.
Answer with what you mean, what you do mean then. Isn't there anything at all you think looks good when you see it on someone?
Cove mumbled under his breath, and you couldn't quite catch the words. He was having a difficult time with the subject. Oh, we're not letting it go. Hold on there, Cove. That's a bit much. Nothing is something you save for special days. I didn't think of it that way. Oh no, Cove. He is 13. You're not very good at these conversations, are you? Oh no. Yeah, I'm not. Well, that was a plain answer. Cove seemed to seem pretty grumpy about your statement, but you weren't ready to give up so easily.
I'm still waiting on an answer.
Cove sighed and looked down at his lap where he was fidgeting with his hands, still reluctant to give an answer.
I don't know.
Uh-huh. Now I feel like I'm bullying him. I swear I won't make fun of you with your fingers crossed behind your back, right? You made an unimpressed sound over how this was going.
Are you sure?
Fine, I guess. I kind of like ankle bracelets. Oh, he likes anklets? Wow, Angie, you truly are an Otome game protagonist. So dense. Hey, I'm not that bad. I guess I'm kind of bad, but I'm not that bad.
Ankle bracelets?
Yeah, everyone can wear a pretty bracelet. Wrist ones are cool too, but they're pretty normal. Uh-huh. Oh, like one of those ankle monitors. Why would we know that? And there's something fun or flirty about ankle bracelets. Flirty? Flirty? About ankle bracelets? Yeah? Cove? Oh no, he's into feet! Ankles, more like. It sounds more like he's into ankles if I'm, like, really analyzing this. I guess it could lead to feet, though. It's more special or something. I don't know how to explain it. Oh no. Oh no. Cove brushed his knuckles against his cheek awkwardly, seemingly unsure where to go from here. Oh no! The last two answers! Varying degrees of make fun of him, but, oh no. Yeah. So you think they're sexy?
What?
The panic. What? No, I can't believe you'd use that word to describe it. I mean... Cove had been absolutely scandalized by your statement, and you could only laugh. When he said nothing else, you took a moment to gather your own thoughts. Flirty, Cove. Right? You use the word flirty. Anyways, we're gonna have to get one ASAP. You know the drill. He got the foot desire brain disorder. You needed to see how Cove would react to that. Cove looked away again, feeling awkward about this. You gave him an understanding look, and usually he would start to smile like normal again, but not this time. His expression only stiffened more. Ah, poor Cove. You were surprised to see him like this, as he always bounced back pretty quickly after being flustered.
Cove?
Still, he wouldn't look at you, and now even his breathing was growing tense. It began to click. He was trying to build himself up enough to say something hard for him. Oh no. I'm concerned. What's this gonna be? What's the confession going to be? You waited for it silently, until finally he peeked your way through the corner of his eyes. You were fully attentive by this point for whatever he was going to mention next. People having yellow eyes. That's also something I like. No! No, you didn't! You didn't! No! Oh my god! Please do not confess your love after confessing to your foot fetish. Cove! This is... I can't. Why is he so adorable? I'm gonna puke. No. Guess Rain has yellow eyes. Yeah, because I have yellow eyes. That was the only thing I connected. Since I have yellow eyes, I made Rain have yellow eyes, and that was it. Everything else was up to the audience to control. He's almost outright saying it. Such a shame Rain is denser than a brick wall, right? He's practically just outright just like, yeah, I, you, hey, so. He's getting as close as he can. Huh? What an Atome response. For a moment you were stunned, and at a complete loss for words. That was definitely not where you imagined this was going. Cove faced you head on, his expression full of desperate meaning. You got the distinct impression he hadn't chosen that just because he liked the color yellow. He chose it entirely because it was your eye color. Yeah, no, I kind of picked up on that. Was he trying to flirt with you? Yes, I believe that is exactly what he's doing. That was all you could think. Your legs felt like jelly, and you wondered if you might fall right off the couch. What do you like for another person, Rain? We can just outright say everything about him. What could that mean? What could that mean? Oh, man. Hold on 1 second. I forgot to put my glove on this morning. And so my tablet is getting, like, super sensitive to what I'm doing. So I'm gonna put my tablet glove on. Green hair and a bowl cut! Yeah, Jeremy. Really into that. Why do you think I almost beat him up? Alright. Glasses. Let's go with glasses. It could be open. Cove looked away thoughtfully, and you couldn't quite tell what was going through his mind. I can't take this. I can't. Oh, the teenage flirting. Oh my gosh. Yeah, obviously we have to go with it. Damage dealt. Cove blushed a deeper shade of red and his mouth fell open, acknowledging that you had specified him straight out. Oh, poor Rain. She really does need her eyes checked. Yeah. I especially liked your glasses. Can you hand them over? I kind of want to try them out. I seriously think I might need glasses. Now you are both flirting with each other. He placed his hands on his lap and looked down. It seemed he hadn't expected to get this far and didn't know where to go from here. He starts this and then doesn't know how to continue. Starts this, gets surprised when he's flirted back with. With that, the topic abruptly dropped off. Cove officially had no more to say on it. He just walked off. The parents had arrived soon after, each of them climbing into the RV and finding some place to sit down and rest their legs. Elizabeth, having heard the commotion, came out from the room for the first time since arriving and joined you all. You spent the evening chatting and playing a few games, enjoying the last evening of the trip together. Don't start fights you can't win. Right? Bedtime arrived with the blink of an eye. As the group hunkered down for the night, your mom did a final round to be sure nothing had been left behind. She explained that Cliff was going to start driving early in the morning, like on the first day, but would be letting everyone else in the group sleep. There wouldn't be a need for all of them to get up. Now was the time to check you hadn't left anything outside. You, as well as everyone else, were confident that it had all been packed up inside the RV, which meant it was time to get some rest before the journey home tomorrow. Your moms and Elizabeth said goodnight, heading to the back room while you climbed up to the loft. Cove and his family got situated below in the previously set arrangement. Next time, monitor how much you love weak bones. Mention how much you love weak bones. Poor Liz missed so much fun blackmail material, right? Oh man, she really missed out on that. She needs to get better at picking up whenever there's like an embarrassing moment going to happen. You tried to get comfortable as a million thoughts were running through your mind. It was hard to believe that the trip was practically over, and before you knew it, you'd be back in your own bed at home. I enjoyed this quite a bit. But it's not over yet because we have a choice coming up here. And it will change how we play this game. So, just keep that in mind, because I will let chat decide. But there's a big choice that will change this game. It was short, that was for sure, but you got to see and do so much during your time here. All in all, it was a nice break away from home. The minutes ticked by silently. It didn't take long for the soft snores of Cliff and Kyra to drift up to you. They were asleep now. We can keep this masochism tango going for a few more years at least. Okay, I see you're already thinking of what the choice is going to be. You wondered if Cove was still awake and decided to poke your head out from the loft to find out. You blinked through the dark. Alright, pause for a second, guys. My sinuses are really bad this morning. So I need to have like a few pause for water breaks. Or in my case, coffee. Okay, resume. We're back on. Not that I actually paused or anything. Can we steal one of his teeth while he sleeps? What? What? What kind of game do you think this is? Looking down the hall, you notice Cove lying on his back, his eyes staring straight up at the ceiling. His seafoam hair was spread out and is on his sleeping bag. See if we can get the yandere route going. Who's the yandere here? I am? He must have felt you watching him because suddenly his eyes locked on yours. It was difficult to see much in the dim light, but you could make out the crooked smile on his face well enough. I mean, I do imagine when you're trying to sleep and you're just like laying there and you look over and you just see this person on the loft, so they're like way above you, and they're just staring down at you as you try to sleep. I imagine that could start the yandere route. That, you know? But he seems to like that, so... Well, teeth are bones. I mean, how weak those are. Oh my god! Make a silly face, obviously. Cove rolled his eyes at you, or at least you thought he did. All right. And then we are going to gesture for him to come up. We can mess with this boy so much. Though you actually put we can mess this boy up so much. But Cove looked unsure about it, but you were happy to see him slowly start to sit up anyway. His sleeping bag rustled as he moved, though he tried to go to sleep and froze up like a deer in the headlights every time he made a sound, watching his parents for any sign of movement. Eventually, he managed to maneuver around his sleeping dad and make it to the ladder, standing on the bottom rung when he looked up at you and whispered, "What?" Hi. Just come over here, tiptoe all the way. Hi. Invite him up, though.
Do you want to come up?
His eyes widened, just so. You could only tell because he had come to where you were. Cove glanced behind him, quickly at his sleeping parents before turning back to you. Okay. You broke out into a grin and scooched back as far as you could, making space for Cove to crawl in. He was very tall, so it wasn't a great fit for him, but he managed to squeeze himself in. Got a text. Nope, wasn't anything important. Okay. You understood how that felt, and with the two of you in the loft together, there was barely any room to move. You laid down next to each other, on your sides, face to face. He got under the blanket for a bit. One of his arms was nestled under his head for comfort, the other had nowhere to go, and was rested alongside his chest on the floor of the loft. Cove spoke to you softly. So, what am I doing here? If it wasn't important, can I have it? Do you want my text message? I don't know. Just, IDK, man. How's it going? Why are you here? Cove raised an eyebrow, giving you a disbelieving look, and you shrugged as much as the space would allow. I'm not sure about this. Cove swallowed loudly, and you noticed he wouldn't look at you in the eyes anymore. Yeah, I could use it for some blackmail or something. Yeah, sure. I'm sure you'd get a lot out of that. His reactions made you happy. It was nice to know that this didn't seem like nothing to him. You wanted him to take this seriously. Oh, whoops. Hold on. You thought back to earlier in the evening, when you and Cove had been talking alone on the sofa. He had definitely been flirting then, and now you were here. We can mess up his brain pathways, make him constantly doubt any interaction we have with him. Does she like me? Does she hate me? Does she even tolerate it? He will never know. We'll talk. Let's just talk.
So it's been really nice night, huh?
Oh, yeah, I guess it has.
Don't you think the loft is more comfortable than it looks?
It's nice.
It's not bad. Would be nice to have more room. Cove smiled at you through the dim light, and you knew he was only joking. The two of you continued to whisper for a while, becoming more relaxed. Went to sleep how we were. No need to snuggle or anything. I suppose I should have let you guys have that choice, though. But I mostly chose it because I feel like we're going to want to continue this for a little while, right? No confessing or anything, but continue. Because I feel like that scenario. Challenge him to combat, loser gets the floor. You didn't do anything, simply letting out a long breath and getting ready to settle in for the night right next to him. Because, like, if you choose the kiss option, it kind of locks you into dating him. And I want that to be open for us. If you let me have my way, Angie, these two will never be in a relationship. I need them to be in a relationship once we hit... No, bro, that was a friend kiss. I need them to be in a relationship once they reach adulthood. But during adulthood, they can still be single. But for the thing I'm trying to do, I do need them to at least be in a relationship at the end of adulthood. But we can continue this pining relationship until then. You let your eyes close and you couldn't say what Cove did next because you were soon asleep. When you woke up the next morning, it was to the rumble of the RV as it traveled the long journey home. You noticed quickly that you weren't as warm as you had been during the night, and when you checked next to you, Cove was gone. Blinking sleepily, you peeked over the edge of the loft to find out where he had gone. Maybe he had snuck back to the spot on the floor during the night. However, you soon noticed him sitting on the couch, talking quietly with his mom. His head hung in embarrassment. He was caught. He was caught. I don't think he intentionally left. I think he was caught. Your movement gave you away, and Kyra suddenly looked up and caught your eye. She simply smiled amused at you, and it was obvious what happened. Cove hadn't gotten away with it. They found him there in the loft, and then you woke up while he was trying to explain. You knew it was going to be a long, long time before you lived this one down, if you ever did. Good, how dare he leave in the middle of the night? Soon your moms and Elizabeth emerged from their room, dressed and ready for the day of travel. You spent most of the day hanging out together in the RV, savoring the last few hours of vacation. Kyra suggested a few different travel games she used to play with Cove when he was younger, and you all had a great time competing against each other. Darn, we gave away prime blackmail to ourselves. We did. A little later in the day, you tried to talk to Cove about what happened in the loft, but he simply apologized and changed the subject. Coward. It was a bit too much for him to try speaking on, especially right now. You understood. When the RV finally pulled onto your street, it was well into the night, and you were looking forward to crawling into your own bed after the last few days away. Everyone else must have been feeling the same, because it was mutually agreed that unpacking and cleaning the RV would wait until morning. Oh right, green hair is his mother. Yep. No, Cove, talk about it now, in front of everyone, right? Once home again, you went straight up to your room and dropped onto your bed, shoes and all. Happy to have my own bed. That's how I always am after vacation. You stretched out with a smile on your face, enjoying having the space all to yourself. With those last few thoughts drifting through your mind, it wasn't long before you dozed off to sleep. Tomorrow, life would go on like normal. Okay. So we didn't take the path-altering choice. Like I said, if we actually kissed him, it would lock us onto dating him once we hit adulthood. And I kind of didn't want to do that. I decided for you guys. But yeah, I kind of didn't want to do that. I kind of wanted to stay on pining mode because, one, I like the long run, and two, I think pining can be a little more funny when going through this game. And three, I want Cove to be the one to confess. I think it's funnier that way. So we're gonna wait till adulthood. But I do, at the end of adulthood, I do need to take it because I am trying to get a specific thing to happen. So no spoilers, we'll get there, but I am trying to make a specific thing to happen. Anyway, let's go to Mall. Lee's visit today turned out to be more involved than you expected. After overhearing where the Holden family was going, Lee insisted on seeing Mr. Holden's shop firsthand. An hour later, and Lee was busy looking at every item on display. Because Cove's dad offered supplies, lessons, and tours, his shop had all the scuba-related stuff you could imagine. Fins, masks, suits, and snorkels. Let's see. I don't know, a relationship stretching from 13 to adulthood can have a fun dynamic. Dear Lord, we can make this boy confess out of his sheer exasperation with us. It's true, both of those. I played this game a few times, and I do like, if you start dating him. Though you don't actually start dating him at 13. If you choose the kiss option, he won't confess to you right away. He won't say anything right away. He just thinks about it more, and then at the end of the teenage year, he will then just bring it up and be like, hey, we need to talk about this. And then it kind of forces you into a relationship once you hit adulthood. You can actually, we have like, I think 2 more opportunities in teenage years to confess. But again, I do think it's funnier if you just don't say anything and keep stringing him, and then finally he just outright goes, look, when you reach adulthood. He does confess himself when you reach adulthood. There's an even funnier thing that happens where you can avoid the confession altogether. Hey, we need to talk about this. No, we don't. There's a funnier path where you can just, if you know when he's going to confess, you can keep avoiding it. Where just, like, you always have someone around you, so he never has the confidence to do it. And then, when you reach, like, because there's 4 routes in here, there's actually 2 phases of adulthood, which acts more like an epilogue. And when you reach the epilogue one, if he has not confessed to you, but you've been on, like, in love for a while, and, so you reach that second phase, and you're in love, but he has not confessed to you. Then he'll confess to you. Then it kind of forces you into that confession because like you'll be alone together with him. The game will force you to, and he'll finally confess. And in that same breath, he can also propose to you. So you can get a love confession and a proposal in that same breath. I've had that happen in one of my playthroughs just because I wanted to see if it could happen. And it does. And it's a very funny conversation because you'll come back to your parents and everything and go like, so... I am done wasting time. I love you, marry me already, basically. It's very hilarious because you'll come back and be like, so we have an announcement, and your parents are just like, wait, what? I was expecting the love confession, but a proposal? Yeah. The game was very funny for putting that in and having like full dialogue for it and full reactions. But we're not getting that one. I do have a different route I want to go on that I haven't gotten yet. So it'll be a surprise for me too. I just know it's a possible thing to get it this way. Anyways. We already read this. After circling around the shop, finally stopping and looking at the whole room. For me, if I lived at the sea, yes, I would in fact be scuba diving quite a bit. Oh dear Lord, he finally snapped. This is what happens, Mom. We should have intervened sooner. Dear Lord Rain, why did you let things get this far? Right. Rain will do anything to not confront her own feels, right? Yeah, we'd spend a lot of time over here. I love the ocean. I'm a fish, obviously. The shop was as familiar to you as your own neighborhood. It was practically another extension of home. Yes, I'm excited. Ocean, ocean, ocean. When you arrived, you took Lee on a tour, including a sales pitch of all your favorite things. Mr. Holden promised there was no rush and asked you to give Lee some time to explore on her own pace. Yes, Mr. Holden, I would like my paycheck now for giving a tour of your shop. Don't think that I'm giving these things for free. Lee was still busy poking through the various wetsuits displayed, so you decided to see what Derek and Cove were doing. They were too absorbed in their conversation to notice you standing near them. Leaning against the counter, you were able to pick up the topic quickly.
Anyway.
My dad told me the new stuff is selling like crazy. Yeah, the material has this new blend with
neoprene? I don't know how to say that.
My dad says people are really interested in it.
The poor boy confessed to his foot fetish to us, and Rain needs time to process that. A few years at least. Yes, I would need time to process that, in fact. Rain is right. At 13, that's a lot. It brought a smile to your face hearing that the shop was doing well. Obviously we're listening in on the conversation. They don't know we're here yet. Pity Derek, that boy is never growing up. Oh, man. Oh, man. I don't know how to, like, tell you this, but, like, his adult sprites? His adult sprites. That's all I'm gonna say, actually. Because, like, we do see him as an adult. He is, I've mentioned this before, but he is one of the other love interests in this game. Only if you buy the DLC, which I have not done. Still short. Keep listening. Eavesdrop. It was interesting just to watch them speak about what they knew.
But really, there's just so much to think about with the business. It's crazy. No matter how much I come, I still don't think I get it.
Cove hummed and nodded in agreement, causing a good-humored laugh from Derek.
I thought you only liked the scuba diving part, not the job part. That's just the best part. I think about other things too.
I gotcha.
Cool. The business side, running it. That's my favorite.
Out of the corner of your eye, you caught movement, and you realized that Lee was standing next to you.
When your dads retire, do you think they're gonna carry on the? Do you think you're gonna carry on the store?
Both sons shrugged in unison.
Well,
there's tons of things I could do. My dad thinks so too. He doesn't want me to plan on working here forever.
Cove's gaze fell to the floor. You could see the conflict flashing across his face.
I don't know. It's a lot, being the real boss of something and totally in charge.
That's a tough one. As a teenager, I probably wouldn't want to. It's nice Lee is still hanging out with us after using her as an emotional support dog. She doesn't have a choice. It's funny she thinks she had a choice. Would your dads let me take over the shop? A rumble of laughter came from Lee, Derek, and Cove.
You're trying to swoop in, huh?
Why not? They don't want it, and I could do a good job.
I support that 100%. You should make me a manager.
Trying to get that job from us. Through marriage, maybe. What a comeback that would be.
I'd give you my vote. I don't think my dad would, but ask him if you want.
Thank you for your blessings. Smiling huge, you felt plenty pleased, and as much as you were trying to joke, there was a part of you that genuinely thought about being a business owner would be cool. Cove's parents left the back office and came over, catching your attention.
Sorry, kids. It looks like it's gonna be a long one. I know usually others hold the fort down, but I really need to stay here today. I know you just wanted a little visit. It'd be boring getting stuck all day because of me. Kyra can take my car and go back to the neighborhood.
Cove and Derek gave him an understanding look. Mr. Holden crossed his arms and flashed you a big smile, trying to lift the mood. Lee, please, you can get away. You can live your own life. No, she can't. She must stay by my side. She's not allowed to go anywhere.
The one condition is that someone has to remember to come back for me later.
You don't get to strand me here, no matter how funny that might be. Aww. Kyra laughed and gave a thumbs up. Mr. Holden seemed satisfied with that. He moved on with the explanation.
Derek, your dad also has his hands full today, so he doesn't have time to run you back home. That's all right, sir.
The title "sir" got an awkward chuckle out of Cliff, which was cut short with Kyra elbowing him teasingly.
What do you think?
You already said I could borrow your car. Why don't I take the kids somewhere fun for the afternoon?
Absolutely.
That's fine with me. Just please come back eventually. Sometime today, Kyra.
After multiple jokes about being left with no ride, you had to wonder if that might actually happen in their past together. For you, my good sir, I swear, cross my heart. Sorry, Derek, you'll have to work a few shifts here, no pay. Oh no, Derek! Happy with the promise, Cliff took out his black wallet and offered a $50 bill to Kyra. Oh, sure, you give me a 20, but she gets a 50.
Here, in case you need gas or anything else while you're out.
Kyra smiled knowingly and accepted the bill without hesitation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cove's dad stuck the wallet into his back pocket while he waved with his free hand.
Okay, time for me to jump back into work. Have fun for me. Bye, Dad.
Bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
Bye, Mr. Holden.
Goodbye, sirs and madams.
He left the room with a wink and flare, disappearing into the employees-only area of the shop. When Mr. Holden was out of sight, Kyra silently strolled over to the counter and carefully placed the $50 bill there. She turned back around and beamed a large smile at you and the others. Come on, gang. Let's see if this town has a mall.
Yeah.
Yes! Unable to contain her excitement, Lee actually jumped with joy, while Cove and Derek just grinned. There wasn't a mall in your hometown, but Mr. Holden's store wasn't in Sunset Bird. It might be possible to find a mall out here. Yeah, I felt okay about that. I liked going to malls when I was a kid, but, I wasn't super excited about them. A trip to the mall had never failed you. You nodded, decided that today was going to be all right. Let's go! She quickly herded the group out of the store into the car. As the driver, I get to choose my partner in crime. Naturally, I bestow the position of shotgun to my baby. Bastard thinks he can buy me off. I'll show him who wants to learn how to use gasoline in a match. You know, out of all the parents, Kyra would. Most likely to. Her comment had both Derek and Lee snickering. Cove was for sure embarrassed over the phrasing and blatant favoritism, but he took the seat by his mom without complaint. Jokingly complain about the special treatment. Come on! It's not really fair. No one else had a chance to get it. That got a hearty laugh out of Kyra. Sorry. You'll get where I'm coming from when you start driving. You continued your teasing pout in the back. You'll understand when you're older was the worst excuse. Kyra really wants to damage Cove. He has no defense or recourse. Oh well, if you want shotgun so bad, you and Cove can share. I'll take the middle seat. He's volunteering the middle seat? I guess he's between two girls. Smooth move, Derek. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want a window seat. You two can have them. Are you cool with that? You thought it was odd that anyone would give up a window seat, but you knew Derek tried to be especially polite when he was a guest. You nodded.
Fantastic.
Good. Sounds like we're all in agreement. Everyone squeezed into the car, buckling in, and Kyra turned the radio on. She set it to the top 40s pop station. Do we want to listen to pop? I mean, even back then it wasn't usually what I listened to, but at the same time, I usually would not complain if anyone put on their music, so... Let's see. Oh wait, we're supposed to lavish Derek with affection to make Cove jealous. I forgot about that. Yeah, we were supposed to do that. But we've kind of, Derek hasn't been showing up a whole lot, so we haven't really had the chance to do that. And I guess we're not really coming to terms with our feelings for Cove, but like at the same time, we're not like being mean to him either. Let's ask to change the station. That I can do. What kind of music are you thinking? Heavy metal, heavy metal. Well, talk radio. I guess alternative or rock. We'll do rock. Nice choice. Glad you agree with me, Cove. You're right, we need to be meaner to Cove. Lee agreed happily while Derek shrugged in response. Derek doesn't like rock, huh? That doesn't bode well, Derek. No problem. Rain, I got you. Kyra set the radio to the station best suited to what you requested. With that set, the trip to the mall continued. It wasn't long until your group realized that they were lost, but after driving in enough circles, Kyra's struggle paid off when she found a local mall. There were more cheers from Lee as Kyra pulled into the parking spot. Once your group had made it inside, the first order of business on this trip was checking what the mall actually had. Where should we go? I think I see a makeup store up ahead. Okay, Lee. She rolled up on her tiptoes to get a better view. Meanwhile, Derek was eyeing the directory. There's a chocolate shop. Seriously, we have to go there. Yes, wait, and we need to find a decent jewelry shop. I need hair ties and barrettes. We need anklets, too. We've also got to at least look at the game store. There's tons of things you can't get anywhere but a store that's just for video games. Hey, what are you thinking, Cove? I want to look at the fish in the pet store. Of course you do. Leah's such a girly girl. Keep an eye on Cove. Make sure he doesn't fall for her. I don't think Leah's quite his type. You could have guessed that much. Anywhere else? He smiled with some bashfulness. Can we go to a camping and outdoor supply shop? What about you, Rain? Okay, alright. Hold on here. Let's see. Well, we need to buy an anklet, so definitely the accessory shop. Video game store is a must. Definitely the chocolate shop. Definitely the pet shop. Bookstore, yeah. Art supplies, music store, and, of course, the food court. Ghost type is Beehive boxing champion. That's right. Reign supreme. And that's all. That's certainly a list. Good thing we have all afternoon. Yeah, I chose almost every store in the mall. Yeah. I have my own stops I want to make. Let's agree to regroup here at 7 p.m.
What?
You're not coming with us? We're all in the same building. You won't be as alone as you think. I'll only be a few minutes away at most. You're old enough to enjoy the mall without me hovering. We get to be alone, guys. No parent supervision. Okay.
See you soon.
Be back at 7 p.m. Toodaloo. Leaving Derek and Lee stunned by their newfound freedom, Kyra walked off. When she was almost out of sight, Derek's face twisted in confusion. Wow, she's really gone. I can't believe she just did that. Make sure to get Cove's opinion on anklets, then buy the one he likes the least. Imagine.
This is so cool! We get to do whatever we want!
Talk about an amazing opportunity. Yeah, no parent supervision. Yeah, Lee sure doesn't know anything about freedom, huh? No, she wouldn't. And she never will.
It really is exciting.
With the decision already made, Derek tried to pull together his earlier enthusiasm for the trip. So, where are we going first? Time's a-wasting. Whatever's closest. Things were coming together, but you realized there might be a flaw in today's sudden plans.
What's wrong, Rain?
Did everybody bring money with them?
Yeah.
I did. I always have some on me when I come all the way out here.
I'm just gonna say I have money too. I don't know what happens if you don't have anything. Imagine. Immediately, you felt better about the situation. It would have been a downer to not be able to think about something at the mall because you didn't have money.
I'm good.
Now that everything was squared away, you explored the mall together as a group. There were many shops that you managed to venture into so far. You all went to an accessory shop, leaving you with a pep in your step. This was better than you thought, and there was still so much to see. After having hit many of the top priority stores, you found yourself passing by a small booth. It was decorated in wind chimes of various sizes. Weak Angie, use Cove and Lee as your piggy banks. I don't know if you actually can, though. I did think of that, though. Just being the worst mooch. You raised a hand up to one of the smaller ones. What sparkled your attention next was Cove. You thought for sure he was going to stop at the booth by the way he looked at it, but he kept going.
Do you want one?
It wasn't until Lee asked that you realized that you had stopped in front of the booth without saying anything. Lee just continued to encourage you.
You should get one.
Yeah, I'll take one.
Yeah, I think I do want to get one. Cool. I have one like this and it's really nice. It makes the prettiest sounds.
Fishing your money out, you made a decision on what to buy. Let's get one for Cove, like they're matching. We'll get one and say we don't like him or anything. We just thought he needed one.
Can I get these two, please? Now why would you need two wind chimes?
You rolled your eyes at her teasing tone, but you couldn't hide the smile growing on your face as Lee broke out into laughter. The shopkeeper carefully wrapped your purchase up and handed it back to you in a bag. You accepted and then raced off with Lee to catch up to the boys. For Cove, you had picked out a beautiful wind chime that... We'll do the dolphin one. His porch is just so ugly. You guys never decorate or anything, so I just got you this so it would, like, put some charm to your house or something. I don't like you or anything, okay? Something like that. You had a feeling that he'd appreciate that. After leaving another clothing store, one that Lee couldn't resist exploring, you and your friends found yourself walking down the main hall of the mall again. It wasn't long until everyone you were with had their eyes on the smoothie kiosk ahead. Should we stop?
Yeah.
As you approached, your eyes were drawn to the dizzying list of smoothie combinations. A part of you wondered how long it would take to try them all.
Hi there. Do you need the rundown of how this works?
Dolphins aren't fish. The perfect backhand.
Yes, please. Okay, first off, you pick up to 3 options of fruits or berries. Then I'll add the ice in the store's special smoothie base mix, and then you'll have your very own smoothie for $4. There's only one size.
Cove leaned over the counter a bit. For several moments, he intently studied the plentiful fruit and berry options.
I want to get a strawberry banana smoothie with coconut too.
Sounds good. Is anyone else getting something?
Can I get one that's just all mango?
Of course. Thanks. I'd like strawberries, blueberries, and raspberry for mine. Thanks.
The shopkeeper looked at you now. Yes, we want one.
Could I get...
Okay. I'll do... Ooh, there's a lot of good ones. Strawberry's a definite, and raspberry. Yeah, I can throw some blueberry in there. Oh. I guess we can only choose 3. Huh. How does a T-bone blend? Well, I guess. Wait, I want to change my answer then. I guess I can't. Okay, well, I misunderstood the directions. At that, everyone went ahead and paid for their individual drinks. You waited over at the other side of the booth, where the drinks were put when they were done. Derek bounced on his feet, excited for his to be ready.
This is gonna be good.
Lee chimed in with her own enthusiasm.
Everybody says their smoothie-based stuff can make any drink great.
Cove, while quieter, looked just as eager for his smoothie. Luckily, there hadn't been anyone else before you, so it wasn't a long wait. There's only so much room in the cup, Angie. I wanted everything! The group collected the fresh drinks as they were placed on the counter. Straws were placed through the opening at the top of the cup, and the first tentative sips were had. Derek sighed in satisfaction after his taste.
Mango is too delicious.
Mine is super good too.
Cove nodded and hummed in agreement. His straw was still in his mouth. I was happy about mine. You can't go wrong with a bunch of berries.
This is perfect. Cool. We all made excellent choices today.
Yeah.
Let's sneakily steal some smoothies. Why does Ghibli food look so good? It's always the case, man. It's always the case. Let's steal Cove's smoothie. As you followed alongside Cove for a while, you noticed that even when he wasn't drinking, his straw never left his mouth. He was content to always be in position for more sipping. You wondered if this plan was foiled before it even started. You didn't give up. If there's a will, there's a way. You considered recruiting Lee for help. You knew she would gladly bring aid to your cause, but you were still holding out hope for keeping this a solo mission. Looking back at Cove, he was chewing on his straw. You considered that he'd likely move his cup if you could find a way to distract him. What you didn't notice right away, because you were too absorbed in thought, was that Cove kept alternating his gaze from looking at you and elsewhere. You feared he knew what you were planning, but you shook that off. He may have known something was up, but not the specifics. You couldn't help but grin to yourself. Let Cove a happy family! Oh no! A blush appeared across his face, and you realized it was unbelievably easy to distract him. You already had by simply looking at him for long enough. Let go of Unbroken Bones. We're staring at him, and he's going like, oh no, is she thinking about me? Is she looking? And the only thing I'm thinking about is stealing this boy's smoothie. And just like that, he let go of his straw to ask a mumbled question.
What is it? You're kind of staring.
Oh, whoops, hold on. You took the opening to reach for his drink, not taking it out of his hands, but grabbing the top of it, solidly. His body froze the moment you touched his cup. Let go of a girl with emotional intelligence. Hey now! Holding it still, you leaned down and took a sip, and you were certain you heard a small squeak escape his lips as you did that. Leaning back and releasing his drink, you gave Cove a small smile.
Thank you, Cove. That was really good.
Cove burned with embarrassment. He looked away from you, defeated. Okay. Lee teasingly elbowed you, so when you turned around, she winked at you. She looked utterly delighted. She lives for this kind of thing. Girl, what is wrong with you? Shut up, Lee.
Nice work.
Nah, she supports this. She condones this behavior. Derek continued to slowly sip his smoothie, trying to pretend he didn't witness anything at all. It's Derek that's going, "Girl, what's wrong with you?" Now let's ask to try everyone else. Hey, Derek, can we have some of your smoothie?
Can I have a sip of yours, Derek? You can.
Look at that blush. He held up his cup for you to take it, but instead it was easier to just lean forward and take a sip from his straw. He blushed slightly at the gesture.
That is good mango, thanks.
That's what we do with our fruits. Sharing is caring. Derek winked, causing a small laugh to escape you. The mango in his smoothie actually reminded you a lot of that fruit bouquet you had at the start of summer. And let's try Lee's. I think we got the exact same smoothie.
Hey, Lee, can I taste what you got? As long as you let me have some of yours too. Deal.
You and Lee swapped cups and took several sips before swapping back. The berry blend tasted identical to yours, because we got the same thing. See, Cove, you're not special. I do this with everyone. I stole Cove's. I asked to try everyone else's. Didn't you two order the same drink? We did, in fact. Lee nodded, still sipping from your straw, causing Derek to look at both of you puzzled.
I wanted to know if it was any different. You never know.
You added a shrug at the end of your response, causing Derek to start chuckling. As your group continued to wander the mall, you came to an area in the path that was wider. In the center of the opening was a collection of quarter-operated ride-on machines. Derek stopped as soon as he saw them, smiling ear to ear. You know, I just finished watching Carnival Phantasm. Just like a few days ago. Is there a lion one we can ride?
I want to ride. I think I might be too big.
Aw. No way, you're not that old yet. He eagerly headed over to the machines, waiting to get a better look. Lee went along with it, smiling. Cove Gashinda! Oh man, bring me back to my Fate days. Ah. All right. I want to ride too. Yes, obviously. Carnival Phantom is a fun show. Yes, it is. I loved it. I watched the new one, the Fate Grand Carnival, too. And oh, that brought back so many memories. I used to be really, really huge into Fate and Fate Grand Order. And yeah, I started Carnival Phantasm a long time ago, but never finished it. And finishing it really brought back a lot of memories for me. I'm not quite ready to jump the shark and go straight back into Fate Grand Order yet, because that brings back some stuff. But I think about it sometimes, though. If I do, I'd start streaming it, though. And I would need to, like, confront some stuff before I did. I remember we chatted a bunch about it. Yeah! That was quite the time. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of friends really into it at that time, and like I look back very fondly on those memories. But oh man, that is an investment to get back into. Woo! Gambling streams! Yeah! If you look at my videos and not my streams, I already do some of those. I need to like really start editing. How much damage can we do to Angie's bank account? I shudder to think about it. It's the best of times and worst of times, let me tell ya. Alright. You quickly chased after Derek. He turned his head back to the sound of your footsteps and gave a thumbs up over his shoulder. Reconvening around Derek, you watched as he focused on the various brightly colored rides. Most were designed to look like real vehicles, but there were also some horse-shaped ones. One of them could even seat 2 people. Lee leaned in close to you and whispered playfully, while pointedly directing at the sole machine made for a pair.
You should ride that one with Cove.
I think we'd be very uncomfortable. We're both tall, I'm pretty sure. Are we sure he isn't 7? I'm thinking about it. He might be. Though when I was 13, I still had some super childish habits. I still have super childish habits, actually. I might be 7. I think we'd both be very uncomfortable, but I'm gonna roll my eyes. Your response had Lee giggling.
Trust me, it's a brilliant idea.
I call the helicopter! Lee, we're like 7 feet tall. We can barely fit in these. You're 4'2". Shut up, Lee! Why?
It's the coolest, and I think it'll move the most.
He started digging in his pockets, pulling out whatever money he had left.
Wait,
Is everything okay?
I need 4 quarters, right?
Yeah. I only have 2.
There has to be more between all of us. Hold on.
Pockets, wallets, and purses were checked over. Derek still had 2. Cove had only 1. Lee ended up with the most at 3. You didn't have any.
Oh no!
You can have mine. Thanks, but you don't have to. It's not enough for me, and even if it was, it'd be dumb to ride while you had to watch.
Cove shrugged. He had tried, failed, and looked unsure of what to do next. Why don't we all get on a ride? Guys, I think it's a brilliant idea. If all of us get on one ride and break it. Lee agrees.
Could that work?
Stop thinking, Derek. You just gotta stop thinking. Oh no, we have exactly 2. Oh, we have to share a ride with him. Aw, such a shame. There's not like a bunch of stores around where we could break $1 or 5. Nope, we can't do that. We all have to share a ride. We all have to do it.
It'll be fine. I got it figured out.
Lee walked up to the car and studied it for a moment. She went all the way around it before she headed back to your group with a big smile.
Okay, Derek and Cove get in the car. You'll use the real seats.
They both stared at her, unsure. Ultimately, they did what she said. Anyways, they fit a bit very awkwardly. That was mostly Cove's long legs' fault.
Rain, we can climb up in the back of the car. We'll be right behind the seats. It'll work.
I just imagine being an adult and walking past this. Lee with the great ideas. I can't explain this, but Lee is the most anime of the 3. It just feels it. I can get what you mean, actually. Once you and Lee got yourselves situated, everyone pressed their quarter combination to Derek. He leaned forward and slipped the quarters in the machine slots. Jerkily, it moved. There was a chorus of nervous chuckles and giggles as everyone lurched backwards. Lee bent more forward so she could have her hand on the back of the boys' seats to keep steady. I'm regretting this decision! As much as you wanted to enjoy the ride, you just couldn't. You needed it to be over now. We're gonna break it!
Don't jinx it.
I want to get off. Cove looked uncomfortable with the whole experience. Both hands gripped his side of the car.
We'll live.
Yeah. You shot him a look of mutual helplessness at the situation you'd ended up in. Cove didn't say anything more. He held the edge of the car tighter as it went up and down and side to side. It wasn't long before Derek's fears of breaking the car were pushed aside. A large smile replaced the concern that had been on his face. Woo! Look at us go!
Yeah.
With every buckle of the machine, you kept nearly falling over and bumping into Lee, who laughed every time. You all did your best to keep it together during the remainder of the ride, and luckily the car came to an end without breaking. Cove is worried, rightfully, that will break his bones. Poor Cove. Then you notice something out of the corner of your eye. You tilted your head to look directly at it, and you burst into laughter. What's funny? You turned back to the group and nodded in the direction of where you were looking.
Isn't that one of those machines that takes dollars and gives quarters back? The kind to help people who don't have quarters already?
Uh-huh. I gotta do something real quick. Let me know if the car does a flip. I'll let you know. Everyone's heads moved that way and saw that you were right. Derek chuckled awkwardly. That's exactly what that is. We're kinda dumb. Yep, you're all dumb. You 13-year-olds, why aren't you smart enough to realize anything?
We have to be to miss that this whole time.
Come on, let's just put that behind us. There's still places open. We haven't been everywhere yet.
Here.
You moved along from one stop towards your next, still jovial from the experience. Shortly into your walk, Lee ran over to the nearby trash can and tossed her smoothie cup. Derek went after her and threw his cup away. You followed suit and got rid of your empty cup too. Cove went up to the trash can last. He threw out his very full cup. So much of his drink was left that you couldn't help but wonder if he ever continued drinking it after your stunt. He had been so focused on sipping originally, it had been that he was too uncomfortable to use straws after you had. Oh my gosh, Cove. Probably would feel bad at that situation, going like, oh, is he a germaphobe or something? You know? I have some friends that are, and, you know, I get it. I do get it. All that smoothie went to waste, and Cove barely got to enjoy his drink before you pushed to try it. Cove must have felt your eyes on him because he met your gaze. You weren't sure if he could tell what you were thinking. Instead of calling him out about the drink, you kept it to yourself. You knew Cove well enough to guess it'd just make things worse. Cove smiled at you before turning back to listen to whatever Derek was trying to tell him. You resolved not to focus on the smoothie incident. The clock inched closer to 7 p.m. as you made your way back to the directory. It was hard to believe how fast the day went.
So,
Where do you think your mom ended up today? We didn't see her anywhere. I don't know, she's just like that.
Oh, it's a mystery.
Despite having vanished for the entire trip so far, when 7 p.m. hit, you spotted Kyra coming right over, waving cheerily. As soon as she was close enough, she pinched Cove's cheek.
Hey, baby and friends.
Hi, Mom. He pushed her hand back with one hand and rubbed his cheek with the other.
Did you have a good day, gang?
Yeah. Today was awesome. We did so much. It was fun. Yeah, we enjoyed it. It was fun. There was no hiding your joy. Like the others, you were smiling ear to ear because today went so much better than expected. I'm glad we came here.
that I do.
I want to hear all about it during the ride back.
She clapped her hands together once, making sure she had everyone's undivided attention.
Speaking of that, we better head out. Cliff must be missing us, and you've got to be starving. It's dinner time, and you haven't eaten yet.
Yeah. Everyone followed her lead and started walking out the door to the parking lot. Something about what Kyra said felt off to you. There were tons of places to eat. It's a mall. You could have had dinner. You wondered if it was just a good... Tell her how you stole all of Cove's drink and he refused to kiss you to get it back. I mean... You wondered if it was just a good guess, but you could feel your eyebrows raise when it dawned on you. She might have been keeping an eye on you after all. Weren't pleased at all. How could you? None of you had a problem with her staying with you today. You were expecting it. You felt uncomfortable by her unnecessary deception. Shaking off those thoughts, you caught up with the others. Keeping the same seating arrangement as earlier, you all piled into the car and started heading back to the store. The drive went by without any problems, as if it was filled with chatter about the various things everyone saw around the mall. Soon enough, you arrived at your destination. It was a much faster trip considering this time Kyra knew where she was going. Hearing the light jingle of bells from the front door being opened, Cliff poked his head out from back. He lit up seeing who was there.
Hey, Sport. Did everyone have an adventure?
Hey, Dad.
We had a blast. Yeah. We found the mall.
The mall? Wish I could have joined.
He deflated in an exaggerated way. His shoulders sloped. Kyra put a hand on his arm and smiled.
And there'll be other times. Are you set here?
Almost.
Mr. Holden sighed for real. He then pulled himself together, standing up straight.
Do you mind?
I just need a little more time to finish up. Will you be alright killing time a bit longer?
It's okay.
Yes, sir.
No problem, Mr. Holden.
Sure. We can have fun here.
Excellent. What a great group of kids.
That's right. We're the best. He gave an approving thumbs up and Kyra nodded along. I'll give you a hand. I remember the ropes.
Why, thank you.
They walked side by side to the back room. Before he was out of sight, Cliff stopped and looked over his shoulder.
If you leave the shop, don't go far. It's getting late.
And then the parents were gone again.
Let's go to the docks. They're right down the way.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw those on the way here and I really wanted to check it out. Are you coming, Rain?
Just stay behind. All right. With a smile, Cove showed the way. Between the warm summer air and the smell of the ocean, you couldn't ask for a better night.
Thanks for letting me come.
Me too.
Right? I'm happy we did this. Today was great.
Cove, your mom and dad are really cool.
Really?
Totally.
Cove looked at Lee oddly. He ran a hand through his hair, and then his puzzled expression cracked with a chuckle.
Yes.
I guess sometimes they are.
That awkward little smile. He continued walking. Every so often, you would look up to see the sky and see several stars poking out between the clouds. At one point, you noticed Cove stopped while Lee and Derek kept going on ahead, busily chatting. Initially, you wondered if something was wrong, but you quickly noticed that he still looked to be in good spirits. You decided to hang back with Cove. He gave you a quick, acknowledging look when you stopped by his side. You could taste the sea salt as he took a deep breath into the ocean air. Silently, you and Cove watched the ocean for a little while. There was something about the waves that you always found soothing. You couldn't think of a better way to end the day. And then it hit you, the wind chime. This was the perfect moment. Quickly, you dug out the wrapped package out of your bag.
Hey, Cove.
He barely replied. Instead, his focus was mostly on lazily watching the sea. The paper wrapping crinkled as you pushed the package forward, trying to make him realize. He finally caught sight of it and his eyebrows raised up high. Gingerly, Cove accepted the gift. Just seeing the present brought a smile to Cove's face. He carefully opened it and his whole body brightened as he recognized the chime.
Oh my god.
He's adorable. Oh man, we don't have a good tsundere response here. Yeah, I guess, like, the most tsundere is to be like, well, you get me things, so it's only right I give you things, I guess. Don't think too hard on this.
How many times have I been the one getting stuff? You deserve a present too.
You don't have to keep score or anything. That's not why
I know, I didn't have to. I just wanted to.
The third one is the most tsundere. That's what I thought. Cove's smile seemed to grow even bigger, and his blush deepened. He looked sincerely happy. You're just... He wasn't able to find the words to express his thoughts. Then Cove started getting shy over his bashfulness, and put a hand over his mouth. You were so happy that buying the wind chime was the right call.
I'll take such good care of it, Rain. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let me know where you end up putting it. It'd be helpful to know.
You took your wrapped up wind chime out of your bag and held it up, drawing a chuckle from him.
Okay, we'll match that way.
Yeah.
Not much time later, Derek's chipper voice caught your attention. You and Cove both turned your gaze down the pier.
What are you doing there, slowpokes? Get over here.
Hey, come on!
You looked at Cove the same time he looked at you. You grinned and nodded your head into the direction of your friends. Yes, we do, Cove. You always have to keep score. Right? Always. He gave you a small smile in return. Your footsteps echoed against the wooden planks of the dock and into the night as you ran to catch up. Okay, how long has this been going? 2 hours? Yeah, that seems good. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here tonight. It's a shorter stream today. Sorry about that, but I do have a lot of things I actually have to do, so it's better if we just do a shorter stream. This was fun. So in the next stream, I'll go ahead and finish the, yeah, I'm sorry, I have things I have to do. But in the next stream, I'll go ahead and finish up the, teenage year, and we might just go ahead and early start the adult years. We get a lot more choices on what to do in the adult chapters, and they're a little longer, so I actually expect the next stream is going to be kind of long. Let your old age obligations keep you busy. You're old, you can't spend all day playing video games anymore. How dare you? My god! You had to jab the old thing in there like 3 times, huh? Oh, man. Oh, man, I got so distracted by that comment that now I'm having trouble remembering what I was gonna say. Thanks a lot for that. But yeah, we'll finish it out in the next one. Next week, we are going to go back to, or we'll start the Monday, Wednesday streams instead. Too many stuff is starting to happen on Tuesday, Thursday. Too many things are happening on Tuesday and Thursday, so I just can't do them on those days anymore, so we're going to move over to Monday, Wednesday from now on, because those days tend to be more free for me. Though I might move those around too, just depending on how the schedule gets. But, yep, that's how it's gonna be. Monday, Wednesday, remember that. Though this week, I'll probably still do Thursday, but I'm planning on doing a morning stream on Thursday instead of my afternoon streams, just because, again, I just have things going on, and it's a little hard for me to do Thursday afternoons anymore. But we will do Monday and Wednesday afternoons afterwards. That's it. That's all my announcements. I'm gonna keep it brief today instead of just going off for a while, so thank you once again so much for joining me today, guys. Monday, Wednesday, got it? That's right. Yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Like and subscribe, you know what to do. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Love you lots. Bye-bye.